All right, everyone, here we go. This is part 4 of chapter 4 of Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. Apologies for the bad lighting. This is what we're working with, people. All right, so we left off yesterday when Wallace D. Wattles was starting to tell us we can only when we only hold thoughts of truth is when we can create things in our outer world. But if we hold thoughts of illusion, which he calls the outside world, we will continue to experience the effects of what we are seeing. So it's pretty much living from the inside out versus the outside in. Instead of focusing on the outside material 3D world that has already been created and manifest and the results that we have, don't focus on that, good or bad. If you want to create something new, it starts within. So we start here and then we persist. We believe it, we have faith, that's what we think, and then we see it and we create it, we manifest it, we bring it to fruition out here. Because anything out here is just, it has been impressed on the thinking stuff. Remember, whatever we impress, we express. Whatever we impress is impressed into this very delicate photo paper, if you will. So this is the camera and this is the photo paper. And the images that we hold in our mind will be the ones that are printed or developed out here, right? So our attention and our imagination, our thoughts become developed. Our thoughts become developed. Our thoughts are like the film. It will be developed. It will be the thing blasted out on the screen of the 3D world, just like whatever film is in the camera is projected out onto the screen of the movie theater, and that's the movie we watch. So if we want to change the movie we're watching on the screen of this outside world, we got to change the film, aka our thoughts, our attention. And so we left off yesterday, chapter 4, part 4. He is saying to look upon the appearance of disease will produce the form of disease in your own mind and ultimately, if persisted in your body. And this is not to say that every single disease somebody has, they think about it or they persist in it. There's many other reasons. But if you focus on sickness and illness, if you've ever known somebody who is like a hypochondriac, like they always find something wrong. And by persisting and thinking about it, your body says, okay, well, here it is. I've experienced that with myself. And I always bring up a woman that I worked with. She had breast cancer twice and beat it twice. And she was just witnessing her thoughts. The first time that she beat it, she wasn't as into mindset and personal development work, but the second time she was in it, she went into was it remission? She was healed much faster. And again, that is a caveat. I know there's many different experiences, and just because somebody gets sick does not mean they have a bad mindset or a bad attitude. Remember, our souls have deeper, agendas and things happen beyond our understanding. And so it is not for everybody, right? That's just like a general blanket statement. Whatever you think in your mind will express in the physical body. It might not always express as a disease, but it does sometimes. It does. A lot of times, to be honest. I think it was Dr. Joe Dispenza on a recent podcast that said the majority of people that go into the doctor's office these days, it's because of stress, anxiety. It's because of the nervous system, basically, and then it manifests into disease, dis-ease, a body not at ease. Okay, and it can take many forms. Okay, so he says to look upon the appearance of disease will produce the form of disease in your own mind and ultimately in your body. Instead, you must hold the thought of the truth, which is that there is no disease. That's what Jesus was saying. Disease is only an appearance, and the reality is health. To look upon the appearance of poverty will produce corresponding forms in your own mind. Instead, you must hold the truth that there is no poverty, there is only abundance. This can pretzel your mind and get you really mad, right, when you read stuff like this, but when you really look into it, it's all on the level of the mind first. Forget about the outside world. Like abundance, don't you see everybody starving and blah blah blah? No. This is first at the level of the mind because that's the level of cause. Everything else is effect and relate it to your own personal life. Okay. I find it very helpful when you read material like this, like apply it to your own life. See how you understand it in your own world. Because when we try to understand it in other people's lives, we have no idea what's going on. First of all, on the surface, behind the scenes, or even like deeper karmic stuff, you know? Again, to look upon the appearances of poverty will produce corresponding forms in your own mind. Instead, you must hold to the truth that there is no poverty, there is only abundance. It requires power to think health when surrounded by the appearance of disease, or to think riches when in the midst of the appearance of poverty. Okay, so it requires a lot of power to think health when you're surrounded by disease and disorders. Or it's really difficult to think of riches when you're in the midst of appearances of poverty. But when you acquire this power, you become a master of your mind. You can conquer fate. You have you can have what you want. This power can only be acquired by getting hold of the basic fact, which is behind all appearances, that there is one thinking substance from which and by which all things are made. Then we must grasp the truth that every thought held in the substance becomes a form and that a person can impress thoughts upon it so as to cause them to take form and become visible things. When we realize this, we lose all doubt and fear because we know that we can create what we want to create. We can get what we want to have and can become what we want to be. As a first step toward getting rich, we must believe the three fundamental statements given previously in this chapter in order to emphasize them. I will repeat them here. These are those classic three sentences. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in the substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. You can form things in your thought, and by impressing thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing you think about to be created. I am just going to put a pin in that there. Okay, let's finish this. You must lay aside all other concepts of the universe than this monistic one. You must dwell upon this until it is fixed in your mind and has become your habitual thought. Read these creed statements over and over again. Fix every word upon your memory and meditate upon them until you firmly believe what they say. If a doubt comes to you, cast it aside as a sin. Do not listen to arguments against this idea. Do not go to churches or lectures where a contrary concept of things is taught or preached. Do not read magazines or books which teach a different idea. If you get mixed up in your faith, all your efforts will be in vain. We really have to think about that because, he's saying very firmly, like, even today in this world of social media and all the news outlets and all just the content that is pushed out, the rhetoric, we're all being brainwashed 24/7. It's just, are we picking our soap, right? Our brains are always being washed. We are brainwashing ourselves 24/7. And so it says, do not listen to arguments against this idea. Don't argue against this. When he's saying you can have whatever you want. There is a science of getting rich, and this is what you do. Believe these statements and you'll get rich. Don't argue against it. But what about, but what about? Don't argue against it. If you want to argue against it, it's not going to work. And so you just have to decide. It's like, and our minds love safety and it always has questions and is cautious and is doubtful. And that's our problem. We're always in doubt. We're always questioning and we're not faithful. And if it doesn't feel right to you, it's not right to you. That's okay, right? Just, take what you like and leave the rest or just throw it aside. But it's just about understanding the universal laws as he's putting it. So I'll read this creed again. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. So I see that as energy. There is this energetic substance from which all things are made, and which, in its original form, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. It's everywhere. So let's break it down easier. There's an energy that everything's made of. Okay. Number two, a thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. So when you think something in that energy and the energy hooks onto it and you give it energy, the thought you think in the image, and you latch it onto that energy, it starts to produce, it starts to print out and develop the image of the thought. So a thought in this substance, a thought in this energy produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. And then the last one, number 3, you can form things in your thought. So you can form things, ideas in your thought. And by impressing the thought upon this formless substance, upon this energy, you can cause the thing you think about to be created. So basically, that one right there is saying, you can hold a picture, a slide, an image in your mind, in your imagination, and impress it. Put it in, get energetically involved with it. Put it out into the energy. Press it out energetically. Push it out vibrationally. Get emotionally involved with it. It will go into, it'll start printing out on this Polaroid paper that is the screen of this world, and it will develop. It will be created. Think about it. When you, people, and this is unfortunate, at least what we see in the media that gets all the attention. People, bad people, very bad people with bad intentions, crooks, criminals, people with nefarious ideas. They practice this, but for the negative, and nothing stops them. They have full faith. They won't know what they want, and they get it done no matter what. They will run people over. They will kill people. They don't care. They will get X, Y, or Z, whatever they are going after, because they're applying this principle, but just to the negative. Remember, the universe, we have free will, does not care if, as Earl Nightingale says, we are planting nightshade, a poisonous plant, or carrots, a nutritious food. If they're millimeters, I don't know what he uses, apart, the same seed, the earth, the universe will take that seed, just like a thought, and it will produce in an abundance. So, what seeds are we planting? Remember, your mind is a garden, your thoughts are seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. What are you growing in the garden of your mind? What are you putting into this precious energetic field that permeates and penetrates everything? I'll you Carla, I don't know what I'm putting in the field. I'm gonna tell you, what are you thinking? That's what you're putting in the field. It's not a choice of, well, I'm not putting anything in the field. Yes, you are. Yes, we are 24/7 hours, and we're not even aware of it. We're just like, we're on autopilot. We don't even know we're doing it. We're just in our comfort zone. We're drifting. We're not consciously aware that we continue to repeat the same patterns, you know? So, what is our default? What is our comfort? When we're going after goals, it's not just normal, but it is a part of the whole process to be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be painful. Sometimes it's painful, but it's uncomfortable because you're growing, you know? All right, we can. Oh, let's finish it. This is the last page, y'all. Chapter 4, part 4. Okay, so he said, lay aside all other concepts. Don't listen to anything on the contrary or get mixed up in your faith because all of your efforts you put into this, all the mindset, everything that you affirm and listen to and write down and journal, it's all going to be in vain if you don't have faith in this. And you don't have to have faith in this. But if you want to, you can. And it'll work. It works if you work it. Do not ask why these things are true, nor speculate as to how they can be true. Simply take them on trust. The science of getting rich begins with the absolute acceptance of this faith. So when it comes to getting rich, the science of getting rich, according to Wallace D. Wattles, have faith in it as you have faith in the light switch in your house. There's a light switch. I'm looking at a light switch right now. I know that if I have faith that when I reach back, this is going to work. All I have to do is move my hand, find the switch, and click it. It works. I don't know how this works. I have no idea how that is electrically wired behind this wall or how it's connected to these lights. I don't care. I just know it works. So don't make it harder for yourself when it comes to laws of the universe. And I used to really struggle with this because it came up with a lot of guilt and a lot of like, oh my gosh, am I selfish? Or where does God play in the role of this? Am I like blasphemous? Blah, blah, blah. But like, trust me, I did all my work. I got over it real quick. I mean, it was not real quick, and I still have stuff like that still come up, but I know exactly what it is. It's just old programming, limited, lack, poverty, fear, mentality, just filled with guilt, and oh, yeah. Anyways, that's a whole nother video, okay? But anyways, Today is our official first day. Happy May. Happy May 1st, y'all. It is May. Tis the season. Tis my season. Tis the birthday season. Happy birthday to all my May Tauruses out there. I know I have a few April Taurus friends. So, but it is May 1st, and it is a big birthday week for me, both my sobriety birthday and my actual birthday. And today was the first day again. We arrived in Paris yesterday. We're here today. We're going to go to the Louvre, the museum tomorrow. I have some stuff on my Instagram. I put some stories up. I'm trying to post more on TikTok too, but I do a lot on Instagram of my like stories and such. So check those out. They're pretty fun. We're next to a fire station and oh my God, there was like 6 firefighters. And yes, they were just very pleasant to the eyes. Let's just say that. Okay. Anyways, this has been fun, but have a beautiful evening, a beautiful morning, wherever you're at in the world, and we will continue tomorrow. Have a beautiful night.